The people who were watching Dr. Phil, for them, Muslims are still the bad terrorist people. Operatives and spies like Ben Shapiro and Bill Maher, telling the Americans how to think about Israel.
Sam Harris, same thing. When they say they're an atheist, they literally say, except Muslims are the worst.
Bill Maher, remember how he went to the Muslims, then he went to the Christians. He handpicked stuff from the Qur'an and stuff from the Bible.
He's like, the Quran has the worst text. So then I started reading from the Old Testament, and he's like, you're right, the Old Testament's worse.
But then he will keep on going talking about Islam, and he'll never speak anything about Jewish people.
Because they're giant liars, and they hate Muslims.
They always put forward their worst people. Rabbi Shmuley and Michael Rapaport.
Bill Maher, Sam Harris, Ben Shapiro.
They're all Israel's bitches.
My name is Joshua and I'm 19 years old and I reverted to Islam 2 years ago, alhamdulillah.
Did you know if you teach a revert like me how to pray Salah,
you get the reward every single time I pray.
Every time I wake up for Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib and Isha.
You get the reward.
But have you ever thought about who teaches a revert's children how to pray?
The reverts, of course. And you keep getting the reward for generations.
Donate now and help 10 reverts.
Learn Salah for just £100.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please check out the description section of this video to support the channel. I just saw an unexpected and welcome collaboration between Bassem Youssef and Cenk Uygur. Bassem and Cenk are both from Muslim backgrounds, but despite this, they don't really speak on religious matters very often. However, during the segment, they decided to address high-profile pro-Israeli operatives like Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher, Sam Harris, Rabbi Shmuley, Michael Rapaport, and even Dr. Phil, calling them out for their propaganda promoting hatred against Islam, Muslims, and also Christians. Let's watch the first clip.
The people who were watching Dr. Phil, the people who just watch like Hollywood news and don't even care about politics, and for them, Muslims are still the bad terrorist people. They still have a lot of numbers. Yes, there's a lot of awareness. There's still a very long way.
We have to show people how to effectuate change.
Yeah.
They don't want to be occupied. They want America to be free, and they're starting to get this gnawing feeling that America is not free anymore.
Well,
right?
As long as you have like, operatives and spies like, Ben Shapiro and Bill Maher telling the Americans how to think about Israel. Yeah. I mean, those people like, why don't they just like take the Israeli citizenship? Like Bill Maher is like such like a freaking, like I like how Bill Maher always brags about being an atheist. I'm an atheist, and religion is bad. But it's like, and then the same people like, oh, Israel, it's the promised land. It's promised them, it's a book called the Bible. Dude, you don't even believe in that. It's like they believe in God, and they're like, we're God chosen people. Do you believe in that God? No, I don't. Allah? What?
Yeah.
What is this? What is this?
No. Yeah, Bill Maher is Sam Harris, same thing.
Same thing. Oh, this like we're atheists, but they're not atheists.
No.
They're atheists as like, yeah, they despise religion, but they are like they're all Israel's bitches.
When they say they're an atheist, they literally say, except Muslims are the worst.
Yeah.
That's not an atheist position. That's just literally bigot position.
They will pile also on Christians. This really encapsulates many things about the likes of Bill Maher. Bill Maher has this documentary called Religious.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Remember how he went to the Muslims and then like all about like, going martyr and all of that. Then he went to the Christians, the raptures, the end of war, whatever. So he went and got the worst of these two, the Muslims and the Christians. Then he went to the Jews. Which Jews did he choose in order to platform as ridiculous? It's not
I don't remember. Yeah.
He went to the Naturi Karta, which is like a subsect in Brooklyn, and it's all over the world. And they are Jewish, but they do not recognize Israel's right to have a state unless the Messiah comes. So they consider Israel is like an atheist, secular country that is against the Messiah. It's an antichrist.
Uh-huh.
And he left all of the examples of all of the stuff that's happening in the Talmud and the Jewish faith and the Zionists, and he went to the people which their only problem was that Israel is in the wrong.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You see that the pick and choosing. He went in and he handpicked stuff from the Qur'an and stuff from the Bible. Well, there's in the Talmud, there's a lot about like stuff that if we say it, it's going to be anti-Semitic. But he didn't bring that.
Is the Talmud anti-Semitic?
The Talmud
because it's in the Talmud.
Well, if you say that, that makes you anti-Semitic.
Like,
yeah, but you see, how
eating
he
dinner
picked-
tonight is going to make you anti-Semitic. Everything makes
he
you
picks and
anti-Semitic.
chooses. When he went to the Jewish part, he didn't get the worst out of it. He just got something that would serve Israel's political agenda. I remember Bill Maher. I'm an equal opportunity offender. You're not, and you're not funny anymore. You're a piece of shit.
Bassem was correct in his analysis that despite the massive shift in public opinion against Israel, there's still an alarming number of naive people who watch bigots like Dr. Phil, as well as the mainstream media, and believe all the lies and negative stereotypes they're fed about Muslims. From his recent online appearances, it's quite clear that Dr. Phil is on the Israeli payroll, and it's no secret that the Western media is a Zionist-run propaganda machine. Cenk was correct when he said, as the new alternative media, people like him and Bassem, as well as others like them, have the moral responsibility to wake people up from decades-old pro-Israel brainwashing by exposing the dark reality of how much they are ruining our societies. Bassem and Cenk identified Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher, and Sam Harris as being double agents that have infiltrated the West on a mission to destroy it from within to serve the interests of Israel. Bassem gave an example of Bill Maher's deception by outlining how he claims to be an atheist, yet he will quote the Torah in order to justify the Israeli regime's ethno-supremacy. Cenk correctly stated that Sam Harris is the same type of Islamophobic selective atheist. As Cenk and Bassem both said, these grifters use atheism as a guise to spew despicable prejudice against Muslims and Islam on behalf of Israel. And like Bassem said, they also degrade Christians in the same way when it's convenient to do so. Bassem pointed out how these individuals cherry-pick and misinterpret verses from the Qur'an and the Bible to demonize Muslims and Christians as part of the Zionist agenda, and only do so to Jews if they dare to oppose Israel. Like he said, if anyone was to do the same with the Talmud, these hypocritical shells would melt down and cry about anti-Semitism. Let's watch the next clip.
In Sam Harris, the interviews debate that we did like over 10 years ago, about 4 hours, so that's some interesting viewing there. But in the middle, he admitted, yeah, because he's like, oh, it's a text. The Quran has the worst text. I mean, I'm opposed to all the religions, but the Quran makes Muslims worse because of how terrible the violence in the text is. So then I started reading from the Old Testament, and he's like, you're right, the Old Testament's worse. Okay, so then why?
But then he will keep on going talking about Islam, and he'll never speak anything about Jewish people.
Never, because they're giant liars.
Yeah.
They're bigots. And they hate Muslims, and they love Israel. Israel to them is number one. Everything else is dead last.
They, because they're gonna pick this up and like, oh, he's talking about the Jews.
Yeah. No, let me be super clear. I'm talking about Bill Maher.
They will cut this.
Sam Harris. Ben Shapiro.
No. In the clip, edited so he will see as if he's talking about Jews.
Yeah. Don't worry, they're gonna do it anyway.
They're gonna do it anyway.
It's amazing. We say Israel, they say Jews. We say Israel, they say Jews.
Just say Jews. That's it.
I don't want to say Jews because I don't. It's not Jews.
But the thing is, they can say Muslims all day.
All day long.
They can say Christians
all day long. No. The only thing you're not allowed to say, but they don't control anything.
Yeah.
They don't control anything, but you're not allowed to ever criticize Israel. You can criticize everyone else.
Do you notice that they always put forward their worst people? Do they
have good people?
Like Rabbi Shmuley and Mike Rapaport. They I think they're doing that on purpose. I think they don't care about being hated.
I think that part of what they want to do is draw in the hatred towards Jewish people, so they can hide behind them.
Exactly.
So that Israel can go, oh, you see, they hate Jews, so we have to. We have to.
Yeah.
So self-defense.
They've been doing it.
Self-defense.
They've been doing it all. Remember the whole idea when the army soldiers, they dance with the lingerie and they dance with any army in the world has discipline. They will not be allowed to put that online unless it was encouraged, unless it was allowed, unless it was actually pushed, because I talked to like a professor in London, so like they're doing that on purpose, so everybody was like hate Israel. Part of it is like, it gives them the excuse, and second part of it is like, they actually believe that like on the dogmatic side, is that the whole world will be against Israel. So they need like, give me more hate.
Yeah, and it makes the Israeli citizens keep voting for people like Netanyahu because they think, oh, the whole world hates us.
Yeah.
We have to protect ourselves by getting someone like Netanyahu who murders everyone around us because they hate us. So we had to murder them first. We had to.
Bunch of psychopaths, man.
Right. So unfortunately, look, you know who winds up being right at the end of all this is the guys that Bill Maher was making fun of, the Jewish guys who said, don't do Israel because it'll be an enemy of Judaism. It'll go in a nationalist direction, which is the enemy of religion, and you'll destroy Judaism if you do Israel.
Yeah.
There's some chance they were exactly right.
Yeah, 100% right. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, of all things in the world, Jews against Israel turned out to be the most prescient group there is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cenk made a valid point when he recalled how during religious debates with people like Sam Harris and his ilk, they will outright lie about the Quran. As Cenk said, it's only when you have done your research that you can counter their lies with actual statistical facts, like the Old Testament or the Torah being a much more violent religious text than the Quran. The lesson all Muslims should take from this is to do your research, because all these online Islamophobes not only project the faults of their own religions onto Islam, they also rely on their opponents not knowing enough in order to get their propaganda across effectively. Bassem also made a good point when he said even when these anti-Islam types get caught in a lie, they simply slither away with their tails between their legs and shamelessly resume their false Muslim-hating narrative the first opportunity they get. Like Cenk said, this is the whole game, promoting confusion, bigotry, lies and prejudice with the motive of dehumanizing Palestinians by trashing Islam and Muslims as a whole, as well as Christians to a lesser extent, as Bassem again pointed out. Bassem and Cenk were also spot on when they said, despite critics of Israel being very specific that their opposition to the Israeli regime has nothing to do with Judaism, people like Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher and Sam Harris project their own generalization of Muslims onto others through false accusations of anti-Semitism. Bassem made an interesting point when he said Israel seems to always put forward their worst propagandists, giving Rabbi Shmuley and Michael Rapaport as perfect examples. And although I agree with Bassem that these two individuals are extremely unhinged, corny and socially inept, I agree more with Cenk that Israel's hired hands are just really bad at doing propaganda. Though I do see Bassem's point that they're totally cringe takes could be a plot to increase anti-Semitism. But honestly, I don't think Israel can afford any bad PR whatsoever, not after their horrific war crimes have been broadcasted online across the world for all to see. I do, however, agree with Bassem and Cenk that the IDF are most likely under government orders to deliberately create anti-Semitic reactions to their brazen, cruel and inhumane treatment of Palestinians, in order to breed a culture of revenge amongst the Israeli public, to justify the ethnic cleansing they're carrying out and to keep the deranged Israeli leadership in power. And as Cenk said, the Jews who oppose the Israeli regime's separatist ideology, corruption and criminal conduct are the only ones representing their community and religion correctly and in a positive light. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, and remember to like, subscribe and become a channel member for access to exclusive content. Until next time, inshallah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.